workflow, credible evidence, reimbursement logic, and the right partners all at the same time. So let me show you how that works. Next slide, please. So in my career, next slide, please. Oh, I do. It doesn't work.
Maybe you have another clicker.
There we go. So in my career, I've seen surgery evolve into three distinct waves, right? The first wave was solving what I call visualization. That's why my company was called Visualization Technology. And I founded that company called VTI because surgeons needed a better real-time navigation during complex cranial procedures. Our instant track system used electromagnetic tracking to surgeons that could visualize critical structures. We became the world leader in image-guided surgery, and I sold the company in 2002 to General Electric. The second wave was about precision, and that's where I co-founded Mako Surgical. The third wave is about introducing the electronic scalpel to perform incisionless surgery. That is what we're doing at Insight Tech. A lot of this was shaped when I was a medical student, and there was a gentleman by the name of Frank Yoles and a guy at the Department of Defense called Rick Satava that were building the playbook of the operating room of the future in the 90s. And a lot of it had to do with visualization, and a lot of it had to do with building systems, interoperative technology that allows you to get better, accurate, more precise, smaller incisions. So a lot of that work started there. Next slide, please. So this was a beautiful video of a technology called the WAM. I don't know, I guess it's not going to work, but the WAM, the cool thing about this technology was this was the first Mako robot.
Wow.
We licensed it from Bear Technologies, which is a spin out of MIT. Now, if you look at this thing, what it's basically doing is the ball is being thrown, and then the other robot is hitting it. So it's a pitcher and a batter. And this was in the 2000s of this technology was being built. So you've got to ask the question, what is that for, right? You look at something like that, and people would say, 20 years ago, it was like, what's this all about? 26 years ago, why? How can you apply that to anything, right? So it's not a single patient, not a single surgeon, a single hospital administrator would understand why I would use that robot in the operating room. Perhaps maybe an engineer that's been eating a lot of pizza kind of can connect the dots, right? But the point is that you don't develop something first with technology. You have to understand the problem, and that's the trap. And I've seen brilliant teams fall into this trap. They build something extraordinary, and then they go along for the problem to solve. The approach doesn't work. It's the opposite. You have to understand the clinical need first before you get the technology. So lesson number one, nail the problem, not the technology. That is the only way to go from a radical idea that no one asked for to something that is disruptive and changes the standard of care in technology. Technology is the key, but it needs to be put into the right context. Next slide.
I'm just responding. I already heard it.
Okay. There's three things that needs to be true for disruptive technology in lesson number one to actually get adopted. First, you have to start with being mission critical. You have to understand the unmet needs. The problems need to be painful enough to the clinician, to the hospital, to the payers, and motivated enough to change routine behavior. We spoke a little about that at this recent session here. Second, evidence wins. Clinical validation is not just a regulatory hurdle. It's because it becomes your growth engine. It's critical. Every published study, every data point that proves your technology builds is the trust that you have with other users. It's how you build the trust and the evidence. And third is the partnerships. The right surgeon